So I'm going to be talking why it is probably still a little bit too early to buy these marijuana stocks. It's the Canadian marijuana stocks, that is, and the U.S. ones probably. But the Canadian marijuana stocks right now, they're doing fairly badly. Now, about a month ago, I made a video and I made a case saying that if you were planning to invest into marijuana stocks about a month ago, it was probably still a little bit too early for you to invest. Now, obviously, it would be better to invest about a year ago, but you can't go backwards in time. But if you were planning to invest about a month ago, I made a case that it was still a little bit too early. And my logic for that was that after legislation comes out, which was around here, around here, after the legislation announcement comes out, let's go to this view. But after the legislation announcement, which is around here, there's not really going to be any significant news about the sector as a whole. There's not going to be any significantly good news that are going to come out. It's just going to be a period of stagnation and nothing much is going to be happening. Now, individual companies were still going to be having their news releases. They're going to be having their acquisitions, their mergers, their expansions, and all of that. But a lot of these expansions, these mergers, these acquisitions, they're already priced into these stocks. It is part of the reason why these stocks are so expensive right now. And those news wouldn't really drive these stocks up. That was my logic. And so far it looks like it's been fairly correct. These stocks are going down, and they've only began to go down. So if you're going to buy these stocks right now, if you're buying them right now and thinking that Aurora is good at $2.50, relax. There's no real reason to buy right now. If you wait a month or two, I highly doubt that you're going to miss a significant buying opportunity. I really don't think that these stocks will go up very significantly in the upcoming month or two because there's no real reason for them to go up. Right? There's not going to be any significant news. There's not going to be anything of that. And in addition to that, you also have the Californian market, which is soon going to come into play. Well, Californian market and some other U.S. states. California did legalize marijuana. However, the recreational licenses and all of that stuff, it is supposed to release by the end of the year. So by the end of 2017, California is going to start releasing licenses that will allow businesses to sell marijuana recreationally. And whenever that happens, you're going to be seeing new publicly traded companies coming onto the stock market. And whenever that happens, you're going to be seeing some of the money from the Canadian companies being taken and put into the US companies. And what I mean by that is that people will be selling their Canadian stocks, or at least some of them, taking the money and going to the US stocks because a lot of people are going to be trying to capture this. It is very likely that in California, whenever marijuana legalization takes place and whenever licensing and stuff starts coming out, you're going to be having newer companies, smaller newer companies that are going to be experiencing some fairly significant growth. Now, I don't know exactly how big the growth will be. There's a lot more people in this market, so it's very likely that whenever certain companies become public that they will already be fairly pricey. But it is still very likely that we're going to be seeing, stuff like this, going up fairly significantly. And whenever that happens, that's also going to hurt the Canadian market, at least in the short term, in that period, because you're going to be having a lot of US stocks going up while the Canadian market will still be awaiting legalization. And I'm not exactly sure all of the dynamics at play that will be there, but I think that overall that is a fairly, that's a fair assumption to make. And that's why I think that you should wait before buying these, because if you look at this, sure they've gone down a lot in a month, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, I mean, we're still not down that much. There's still room for these stocks to fall. There's no real reason for them to go up, so just relax. There's no need to buy them right now. You can still buy and wait later. There were plenty of people on Reddit screaming 3 months ago that they were so sad because they missed the $11 buying opportunity of Canopy Growth. And if you bought Canopy Growth for $11 a few months ago, you're not going to be very happy today. So just relax, look at the bigger picture, and yeah, I mean, like if you're going to be entering this market, pick a time that is fairly reasonable, enter the market, and relax. Just don't be short-sighted. Don't look at the month graph and think, oh my god, I'm doing great. Look at the bigger picture, think of the bigger picture. By the time that Canadian legalization rolls out, these companies are not going to be instantly making billions and billions of dollars. That's still going to take a while. So even then, it's still going to take a while. So it is very likely that we're going to be seeing these stocks drop off at least a little bit more. Then they're going to stagnate for a while, and only after 6 or 8 months will they actually start going up significantly as a whole, as the sector. So I think that's fairly well. Yeah, that's my opinion on these stocks. And if I change it, then obviously I'll make another video. But so far, I think that that's a fairly safe assumption to make. Let me know if you have a different opinion. If you do have a different opinion, don't just leave a dislike, like leave a comment and actually explain why you disagree. And if you don't have a good reason why you disagree, then I don't know, that's not a very good sign. You gotta have a reason.